Already, Loto for Life here, bringing us a brand new video, and oh boy, I wish I could have covered these sooner, because I am very far behind on all this, but I digress. I've been wanting to talk about this. I asked on YouTube if you guys wanted to hear about this, and I mean, I didn't get a lot of votes, but you guys do want to hear about this, so there's that. So, that being said, we're going to start talking about the new cards as I work on the upcoming videos that require a bit more work, so I guess these are kind of filler to get, to appease the YouTube algorithm gods. Let me do my stuff, YouTube! Oh, well, I'm already screwed over by the algorithm for not uploading like 5 times a day, every day. Seriously, that's what the algorithm kind of wants. It's stupid. Anyway, but I do my own thing here. Let's talk about the brand new Despian archetype. This is something big, okay? This is looking to be one of the best of the archetypes from the Albaz lore. The Despian is kind of like the liar revealed kind of thing, because these guys, this is freaking, I forgot his name, but the master, I think his name's Maximus or something like that, but the leader of the evil organization that is, clearly not an evil organization that is the Church of the Dogmatica. Like, we knew this was coming, but I wasn't expecting it to be a full-on new archetype. The weirdest thing is that this deck is the total opposite of Dogmatica. They're a fusion-focused archetype, they're dark fairies, and then the fusions are fiends, which is, of course, totally opposite to what the good old Dogmatica are. Granted, Dogmatica are a bit everywhere. I think they're like got spellcasters and warriors and stuff. They're a bit everywhere, but I digress. This deck is looking to be really, really good, to be completely 100% honest. So first and foremost, let's talk about their first monster here, the Despian of Comedy, which I love this artwork because not only does it look like as if it's like, so here's the thing, okay? They're a combination of despair and thespian, in other words, actors, which, I mean, it makes sense. They've been acting as, like, the church and everything for the longest time. And now we got the Despian of Comedy here, and not only does it have that, like, look of it being like, oh, hey, he's an actor, got the robes and everything, but for some reason the pose just kind of reminds me of, like, an actor holding out a fan or something. I don't know, it just reminds me of somebody being pompous. Anyway, so Despian of Comedy, Dark level 1, Fairy effect monster, 0 attack, 2k defense. It being a level 1 is pretty neat, because that makes it a Link Kuriboh target, which is cool, and of course also you can use it for other things, like 1-for-1, and get out your fusion materials and all that fun stuff. You can only use either this card's first or second effects once per turn, and only once that turn, so you get one or the other, not both. When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a face-up Despian card or cards you control, quick effect, you can discard this card to negate that effect. So we got an archetypal hand trap that negates targeting. That is absolutely wonderful. Its second effect is if it's in the graveyard as a quick effect, you contribute 1 fusion monster, spell summon this card. Now, unfortunately, the fusions themselves don't really get any benefit off of being tributed, but however, this does have some interesting interactions with the Albaz fusions, like for instance Titaniclad and the Stigmatica, or the Stigmatica Eater, I don't remember his name, but all the different Dogmatica fusions, not Dogmatica, Albaz fusions. They don't care how they get in the graveyard. If they hit in the graveyard, they get their graveyard effects, which is really cool. And since this deck is kind of intended to be played with those cards, it's going to be interesting to see how this turns out. Now, granted, I will say, this deck is really stupid with Shadal. It's really stupid with Shadal, and I love it. So yeah, this thing's not particularly great for its second effect, but its first effect is really good, just preventing targeting. I love it. It does not destroy the card that targets, but hey, it does stop it, so that is good. Then we got the Despian of Tragedy, which, I don't know why, but this thing reminds me of, like, the Scarecrow from freaking Wizard of Oz. Anyway, so it's another level 1 Fairy Dark effect monster, 400 attack, 400 defense, and this card's honestly probably the better one because it's the Searcher. If this card is sent to the graveyard or banished by a card effect, you can add 1 Despian monster from your deck to your hand, except a copy of Tragedy. You can banish this card from your graveyard and target 1 Stigmatica spell or trap card in your graveyard, set it to your field. So just like the other guy, you can only use one or the other effect a turn, you can't use both. But that gives you a lot of utility. For one thing, if you fuse it off, or you discard it, or you do anything, it gets in the graveyard, or it gets banished by a card effect other than its own, you're going to get your search, which is really, really good. Granted, the deck doesn't have a huge amount of monsters, but I would say they're all at least playable, to say the least. And this card gets you to those monsters, especially the big boy over here, Dramaturgia. I'm probably butchering that. But, however, you do need to get to Dramaturgia because that thing is stupid. So, you do need to get to it, and this helps out with that. You can also Fool's Burial it, 1-for-1 it out, then fuse it off or link it off, whatever, to get your searches going. The really, really nice combo is to 1-for-1 this guy out, and then link it off or link Kribo, search off. Oh, wait, no, wait. What am I saying? Wait. If this card is sent to the graveyard or banished by a card effect. Okay, so I'm not sure if that actually works now. Because I thought, okay, so it says if it's sent to the graveyard or banished by a card effect. So I think it has to be sent to the graveyard by a card effect. Okay, so the link Kribo play doesn't work. Never mind. But you still do want to get it out on the field in order to, well, be able to fuse it off and all that fun stuff. And then you got its recovery effect to grab back Stigmatica spell and trap cards, which is really good because, well, these cards, the Despair's spell and trap cards are Stigmatica spell and trap cards, not Despian spell and traps, which is interesting. And there are other Stigmatica spells and traps, which we will take a look at once Ygopro wants to load, and we can take a look at that, see what you can play in the deck as just kind of general utility. I kind of wish I'd add it to hand instead of setting it, but hey, whatever. Next up, we got Albert, Gesture of Despian. I could have sworn his name was Albert. Oh, yeah, it says Albert here. I don't know why they switched it to Albert. Anyways, yeah, this guy's supposed to be like an evil version of Albaz. Considering that, like, the naming of Albaz and stuff in Japanese implies that he is the illegitimate child of the big bad. Maybe this is his, like, twin brother who the father likes. I don't know. That is going to be interesting, to say the least. So anyways, he's a Dark Fairy effect monster. Level 4, 1800 attack, 0 defense. You can only use this card's first or second effect once per turn, and only once that turn. If this card is normal or spell summon, you can add one Stigmatica spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. So we got a spell and trap card searcher, and then we got the monster searcher. Very, very, very good right off the bat. If a face-up fusion monster you control is destroyed by battle or leaves the field by an opponent's card effect, while this card is in your graveyard, you can target one effect monster your opponent controls. Spell summon this card, and if you do, negate that target's effects until the end of this turn. So basically, if your fusion dies, he comes back and then negates a dude's effects, which is really, really nice. Again, he's a parallel to good old Albaz, whereas Albaz literally just lets you fusion summon by while discarding a card whenever he's summoned. Albert here does the exact opposite. Instead of getting rid of a card out of your hand, he adds you one. And instead of summoning a fusion monster, he summons himself when a fusion monster dies. This is a really interesting and cool card for the archetype. And I think, honestly, it might be an interesting card for fusion decks in general, because, oh no, my window died. Special summon, negate. And then you get a chum blocker and also something to negate a card effect for a little bit at least. And hey, free fusion material. I don't know how much he's going to get played in this deck, because him along with arguably Comedy are probably the two weakest ones. But considering he's a spell and trap card searcher, right off the bat he's a 3 of just for that. Maybe a 2 of. I kind of keep flipping flopping because... actually, I'm only playing one of them in a Shadal build. I don't have any issue getting to my Stigmatica cards, but that's beside the point. I'm still testing the deck out. But A, Spell Trap Card Searcher, very, very good. Moving on, we got Dramaturgia of Despian. This is a Dark Fairy effect, level 8, 3000 attack, 1500 defense, and is effectively an evil version of Dogmatica Maximus, I think is what his name was. I'm curious. Come on. Matica. Yeah, Maximus. Even has the reverse stats, yeah. And I don't know why, but just looking at his artwork makes me think that, okay, he's going to be, like, dancing the entire time throughout the entire final boss fight. Like, if this was an RPG, his idle animation would basically be him doing, like, I don't know, just basically, I don't know, just showing off with JoJo poses and stuff. freaking Mirror B battle theme going on in the background. Oh boy. So this guy is a Dark Fairy, level 8, 3k attack, 1500 defense. You can only use this card's first and second effects once per turn, so unlike the others who will let you do one or the other, but not both, this one you can do both, and they're both stupid good. If a Fusion, Synchro, XYZ, and or Link monster is spell summoned, you can target one effect monster in the field and negate its effects until the end of this turn. If this card is used as material for a Fusion summon from the hand or graveyard and sent to the graveyard or banished, you can special summon it. So, first and foremost, while he's on the field, if a Fusion, Synchro, XYZ, and or Link is spell summoned, you can target any effect monster on the field and negate its effects until the end of this turn. This is a really good effect, and because it's not just activated right away, you can choose when you want to trigger it. So, oh, hey, your opponent summons Hope Harbinger, and you have a quick play spell or trap card that you want to use, you can negate that Hope Harbinger. Or, better yet, if like you don't want to negate him and your opponent then summons something that will allow them to like keep on special summoning or do something other or just some other shenanigan, you can save it for later and negate a different thing. That's really good. Then on top of that, if he's sent to the graveyard or banished due to being used as material for a fusion summon from hand or field, you can special summon him. This is an absurdly powerful fusion material monster, and you can use him in any fusion deck. If you want, you could even use him in freaking Shaddoll, because, hey, El Shaddoll Winda, she doesn't care what the other dark monster is. You can use this dude. This thing is really, really powerful, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens with him in not just Despia, but in even other fusion decks. Although I get the feeling, considering how small Despia is, we could see them become an engine for other fusion archetypes. Speaking of, let's talk about their fusions. Despian Coretus, I don't know. It's a level 8 light fiend fusion effect monster. 2500 attack, 2500 defense. 1 Despia monster plus 1 light or dark monster. This thing is a super poly target. That is really, really stupid, and right out the bat, that's going to make this deck all the more dangerous in terms of what it can do in the meta. Again, I get the feeling that this thing would be dancing the entire time you fight it in a final boss game, because, I don't know, just the JoJo poses just gives that aura of, hey, I don't give a crap, I'm gonna be dancing on your grave. I don't know why that does it. Oh, God. Anyway, so, Despian Coretus, sounds like coitus, God. You can only use this card's first and second effects names once each per turn. So again, you can use both effects. It's not like the main deck monsters who can only use one or the other. During the main phase, as a quick effect, you can change the attack of all face-up monsters on the field to 0, except the level 8 or higher fusion monsters until the end of this turn. If this face-up card you control leads the field by an opponent's card effect, you can add to your hand or spell summon 1 Despia monster or Fallen of Albaz from your deck. So right off the bat, the attack change thing is very annoying and reminds me of one of the Twin Star fusions. Let's see here. I don't remember, but it's like Star Warrior or not. Okay, Star Fusion. Fusion. First Dark Lord. No. Where is he? Edatin the Conquering Star? No. It's the big... Yeah, there he is. Shura the Combat Star. Yeah, it's that his does it during the battle phase. It's basically the same thing as that, which is really funny. But Shura, worse archetype, for one thing. But this also triggers during the main phase and only applies to stuff that is not level 8 or higher fusion monsters, which is really specific and very, very powerful in terms of what this archetype can do. Then, this thing also, if it does get killed, you can add to your hand or spell summon a Despia or Fallen of Albaz, which happens right away rather than at the end phase like the Fallen Albaz fusions. So, oh hey, your opponent kills it, spell summon Albaz right away, super poly for a Despia or something else. It just dawned on me, because I thought this thing was just like a boosted version of Dramaturgia, but it just dawned on me it has the exact same stats as Dogmatica Fleur-de-Lis, and even has like a similar thing going on. So I think this is Fleur-de-Lis, which is kind of crazy, because isn't she supposed to be, oh god, what was her name? I can't remember, and I hate myself for it, because I haven't really liked the character. Dogmatica, Yeah, isn't she Ecclesia? Yeah, I could not remember her name. Isn't she Ecclesia's mom? Like, oh my god. The lore is crazy. So wait, can we get like an evil version of Ecclesia? That'd be cool. I feel like Ecclesia doesn't get a lot of love in this whole series at all. Like, she has not gotten a new version of her card ever since she left the Dogmatica. She just kind of shows up in card art. Anyways, moving on, we got Despian Proscenium, which is an evil version of the Dogmatica big boss that nobody plays because it's only useful in the pure version, which is, I believe, Nexus? Yeah, Nexus. It's an evil version of Nexus, or I guess I should say the true version for these because, yeah, they revealed their hand and are evil. So this thing's stupid compared to Nexus. Nexus. Okay, so let's just recount what Nexus does real quick, okay? It's a level 11, 32, cannot be normal summoned or set, must be spell summoned by its own effect. You can target 4 fusion, synchro, XCs, and or link monsters in the graveyard, spell summon this card from your hand, and if you do, banish those targets. At the start of the damage step, if this card battles a spell summon monster, destroy all your opponent's attack versus as monsters, then inflict 800 damage to your opponent for each fusion, synchro, XCs, and link destroyed by this effect. This thing's a very mediocre boss monster for Dogmatica. It's scary with 3200 and can do a crap ton of damage, but it doesn't really do anything for the payoff. Now, granted, it's not hard to get 4 dudes in the graveyard. That's kind of what Maximus is all about here. Dumping 2 from your deck, dumping 2 from your opponent's deck, so on and so forth. But Nexus was never really worth it. This thing is everything Nexus wished it was. And it became it, because it's the evil version. Or true version, whatever you want to call it. So, Proscenium, it's a 3232 level 11 Fiend Fusion effect monster. 1 Despian monster, plus 1 light monster and 1 dark monster. So we got chaos summoning going on here, but in fusion form. You can only use this card's first and second effects once per turn each. So if you get multiple out, you can't use them all. But you can do both effects in one turn. And these are super buff versions of Nexus's effects. During the main phase, as a quick effect, you can target 1 Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, or Link monster in your opponent's graveyard. Either banish it or spell summon it to your field. So, your opponent has a Hope Harbinger in graveyard, and it can negate spells, steal it. Your opponent has the, what is it called? Oh my god, I cannot remember what that archetype is called. Digital World. Your opponent has the Digital World boss monster. Okay, I special summon it, and now everything goes to graveyard. Cool. It's very annoying, and it can also really mess up with your opponent's playing if they happen to try to use Monster Born to bring something back, and you can just banish it, or you can get it back to your field, or your opponent just added a BLS to their hand or some other chaos monster, and they only have 1 light monster in graveyard, so you banish that 1 light monster because it happens to be an extract monster, so on and so forth. This thing's stupid right off just the bat with that. Then it gets even crazier. This thing's got Flame Wingman's effect. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can inflict damage to them equal to the destroyed monster's original attack or defense, whichever is higher, which is a much improved version of Tetris. Why did I call you Tetris? Nexus's effect, where, it just automatically kills everything, and then, your opponent takes 100 for each. This thing actually can do more reliable damage, and it's a much scarier, bigger boss monster. On that note, it's not hard to summon at all in the archetype, and it's another super poly target, because 1 Despia plus 1 light or dark, 1 light and 1 dark, so easy super poly target for the archetype once again. Speaking of, let's talk about their really good field spell. Despia the Stigmatica Theater. Oh boy, this thing is cool looking. Field spell, you can only use this card's first and second effects once per turn each. During your main phase, you can fusion summon 1 level 8 or higher fusion monster from your extract into using monsters from your hand or field as fusion material. If a face-up fusion monster you control is... if a face-up non-fusion fairy monster or monsters you control is destroyed by battle or leaves the field by an opponent's card effect, you can target 1 level 8 or higher fusion monster in your graveyard, special summon it. So this card fusion summons fusions, and then chooses out more fusions. So, right off the bat, during your turn, you're mainly going to be using it to fusion summon your dudes, and you can then also, you know how Coretus, if he dies, you get spell summon a dude, but even better yet, Albert. Okay, so Coretus dies. Okay, cool. You get to search out a Despia or spell summon a Despia or Albaz. Then Albert comes back out from the graveyard and he gets a dude on the summon and yada yada yada. And then Albert gets killed and then your Coretus comes back. That is basically what this deck is intended to kind of do with that. It's a very annoying cycle, so to speak. And you can even do more cheesy things. Like, oh, hey, your opponent's about to, like, kill your Proscenium. Like, oh, hey, they're about to spin it back to the extra deck with, like, Castell or something. I know, random, but hey, just an example. Quick effect of Despian of Comedy, attributing your Proscenium, spell summoning Comedy, opponent runs over Comedy, effect of Diffusion, while the field spell, bring back Proscenium from graveyard. Very, 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 very interesting combos that you can do with this card in terms of messing with things and, I don't know, guess putting on a good show. Moving on, we got Stigmatica Curtain Rise, which I can't make heads or tails of what the heck's going on in his artwork, but I assume it looks like Maximus has had enough and has decided to reveal everything going on here, and I guess the Tribe Brigade's about to get destroyed here. As the curtain rises on the Stigmatica Theater, or rather, the theater rises. I don't know, I love the lore of this, I want to learn more about it. I want there to be an anime of this. God, why can't we get something cool like that? So, it's a quick play spell card. You can only use this card's first and second names once per turn each. First effect, discard one card, then add to your hand or spell summon in defense position one Despian monster from your deck. You cannot spell summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn after this card resolves, except fusion monsters. So, therefore, oh hey, you can choose out your fusion monster. Well, you can choose out your main deck monsters that much easier. Activate this, spell summon good old Albert, Albert effects, search out the field spell, so on and so forth. This is why the deck has a pretty good amount of synergy, honestly. And then, oh hey, you discarded freaking Despian of Tragedy, you get another search, because Despian of Tragedy will get you a search for a monster. Very, very good effect right there. And then, if a fusion monster you control is destroyed by card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead, just general utility. Overall, right off the bat, Despia is looking to be a really good contender for just being a very strong fusion archetype. I can't say for certain it'll be meta. I've been very wrong in the past, but it very much could be, especially since it just meshes well with other fusion decks so well. This is my current just kind of trying out things build of Despia Shadal. I'm sure it's very, very wrong and very, very bad, and some of you guys are bleeding out of your eyes right now at looking at this, but this is just my first rough take on what we can do here, and it's been working pretty well. I do have some other things I want to test out with it. One thing that is important to keep in mind is that the dude over here, the Tragedy, can grab back any Stigmatica card from your graveyard, and Albert can search out any Stigmatica card on summon, well, spell and trap card at least. And there are a few other ones, some that are coming out in the set, and some that are coming out in the set beforehand. For one thing, we got Stigmatica of White, which is a just general fusion spell. Nothing really is special to write off about it, except you can fusion summon a fusion monster from your extra deck, including a dragon monster. If you use Fallen of Albaz as fusion material, you can also banish monsters from your graveyard as fusion material. During the end phase of this card was sent there because, well, sent to the graveyard because it was sent there to activate the effect of Fallen of Albaz. You can set this card. So yeah, this is something that's really cool about a lot of these Stigmatica cards, is that, oh hey, if you discard them for using Albaz's effect, they will set themselves at the end of the turn, which is really, really, really cool. Then we got Bond of Stigmatica, which we'll actually cover here in a minute, so I'm not going to talk about that too much here right away. Then we got Stigmatica Ominous Cry, which, oh hey, if a fusion monster is sent to your graveyard this turn, special one of your fusion monsters is banished or in the graveyard, and it also has a setting effect. And then we got Judgment of Stigmatica, in which you target a level 8 or higher fusion monster you control, destroy all monsters your opponent controls with an equal or higher attack than that monster, and again has a setting effect. So there's not a lot of good Stigmatica cards right now, but however, this is something that is very much important to keep in mind, just in case if, like, you get to a point where, like, you maybe want to consider playing some of those cards. Then let's talk about the rest of the Abyss cards that have come out, like Abyss lore cards, I should say. First and foremost, we have Black-Clad Dragon Albion. This appears to be Albaz's true dragon form, like not fused with anything, which is very interesting to say the least. Level 8 Dark Dragon Effect Monster. 2,500 attack, 2,000 defense. You can only use this card's second effect once per turn. This card's name becomes Fawn of Albaz while on the field or in graveyard. I don't know why that was so hard for me to say for some reason. If this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can send one Fawn of Albaz or one Stigmatica spell trap card from your hand or deck to the graveyard and apply this effect based on where this card was sent from. Where that card was sent from. Hand, spell summon this card. Deck, place this card on the bottom of the deck. Then if this card is placed from the hand, draw one card. So it has a recycling effect. You can either spell summon it or you can recycle it and draw a card. Very interesting card all around. I don't think it's particularly amazing just at first glances, but I, again, could be very wrong about this. We'll have to wait and see how it turns out. And then we got Bond of Stigmatica, which is looking to be very sweet. I guess Albaz goes on a super big rage and Ecclesia manages to calm him down, which is, I don't know, just kind of cute. Again, please make this an anime Konami. Normal spell card, you can only use this card's first name while this card's effect once per turn. And spell summon one Fallen of Albaz as banished or in your hand or graveyard. So this card just cheeses out Albaz from anywhere. It's mainly just good for being a monster reborn and also for getting it back from the banished because it does get banished very easily. And it has the same standard effect that all the other Stigmatica Albaz cards have. And then we have a random Spriggan's card, Spriggan's Intruder or Interluder. Sorry, yeah, Interluder. Which, where did it go? Seems to show somebody over here. I think, considering they got like the holy symbol going on for the Dogmatica, I think that might be a Dogmatica person, which that does remind me, whatever happened to that one girl in one of the Dogmatica cards? Like, what? There was a Dogmatica. Yeah, Dogmatica Genesis. They showed us like new girl getting chosen or something, and they never did anything with her. She's not in anything unless she's actually Dogmatica Albaz Knight, which I would be interesting to see. It'll just, I don't know. Spriggan's Interluder. Why do I keep wanting to call it Interluder? Continuous trap card. You can only use this card's name effect once per turn. When your opponent activates a card effect, return one Spriggan's XYZ monster you control to the extra deck and apply one of these effects. Negate that activated effect or special one level 8 monster from your graveyard. If a face-up XYZ monster you control leaves the field by a card effect, you can make all face-up monsters your opponent controls lose 1,000 attack until the end of this turn. This card I can only see really particularly being good to dodge things, but it's not particularly good at that. The Spriggan's XYZs are already perfectly fine at doing that, at dodging stuff, so I don't really get what the whole point of this card is. I just don't see it. Then let's talk about some cards that are being released in the set that have nothing to do with the archetype, but are actually like kind of good in it. So right off the bat, wait. That looks like the symbol on Ecclesia. Yeah. Wait. Where's a picture of Ecclesia close up? That looks so much like Ecclesia. Like a lot like her. That looks almost like the burn on her forehead. Why is my voice going out? That looks so much like her. What the heck? Hang on a second. I gotta look that up later because that is bugging me. That looks so much like her, and I can't find a good like picture of Ecclesia with her burn mark right away. I'm gonna Google. Yu-Gi-Oh! I can't spell. Yu-Gi-Oh! Dogmatica, Ecclesia, the Virtuous, what? Oh, let's see here. No, that's Chibi version. I'm scared of scrolling too far down, but dang it. Okay, so she's got the Stigmatica on her forehead here, but it gets like cut off her, and then it like is a burn mark or something on her forehead, and it looks super similar to this, and it just looks so much like her. I can't be the only one seeing that, right? I don't know. Anyways, enough just dilly-dallying. Level 7, so this is Protector Spirit Logafe, I don't know how to pronounce that. Light Fairy effect monster, level 7, 2400 attack, 2100 defense. You can only use this card's first effect, second effects once per turn. If a fairy monster you control activates its effect, you can spell summon this card from your hand. That is pretty cheesy. You can target one face-up card your opponent controls and one attack by just a monster you control. Banish the first target, and if you do, change the second target to defense position. That is so stupid. Oh, God. Oh, wait, no, I totally misread that. You banish your monster, and then you change your opponent's monster to defense. Okay, that's not as stupid as I thought. If this card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target one monster in the field. It cannot be destroyed by battle this turn. It's an interesting card. It's not as good now that I've reread the effect and realized that, oh, hey, it doesn't banish your opponent's monster. But this card's interesting, to say the least, especially since she reminds me so much of Ecclesia. Like, God, I gotta find a picture of, like, up close with her with the burn mark after she gets kind of assaulted by the assassin dude. Darn it. Okay, I guess it still looks normal. I don't know. Making me crazy. Okay, now let's talk about some other stupid good fusion stuff here. We got Alvain, the Final Nothingness, a fairy fusion tuner, dark, level 2, attack 0, defense 2100. Two normal monsters, and there's nothing really special to note about it other than that it's easy to get out and is a fusion that is a tuner, which there's not a lot of good targets for that, so hey, cool. And then, more importantly, we got Retort Fusion. Normal spell. You can only activate one card of this card's name per turn. Pay 1,000 life points. Special in one level 6 or lower. Non-effect fusion monster from your X deck. This is treated as a fusion summon, but it cannot attack, also destroy it during the end phase. So, this is really, really, really good. If instant fusion doesn't get banned or limited or something, I don't even know if, is it limited? It's been a while since I've actually considered using instant fusion in anything. Instant. Okay, so yeah, it's limited. So this is basically honestly, in some ways, better version of instant fusion. So instant fusion, you special summon one level. No, wait, no, yeah, it has to. Yeah, okay, so it's. Yeah, it is in some ways better in that it's level 6 or lower, but like, yeah, Instant Fusion's still better for the most part because it can summon effect monsters. This card is nice because you can summon level 6 or lower, but it has to be a non-effect fusion, so it's not like objectively better. There's going to be situations where Retort's better, and there's going to be situations where good old Instant Fusion is better, but I think overall Instant Fusion is always going to be better. But however, if Instant Fusion gets banned, which is definitely a possibility, Retort Fusion is going to replace it. Which I prefer Konami do this rather than, you know, screw over older cards by making them bad. Just release nerfed versions of the same card, I guess. But anyways, that is it. I don't know what else to say. There are other cards that I need to talk about and catch up on, but those will be for another day. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. Rate, comment, and subscribe. And see y'all later. Peace out. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do consider rating, commenting, and subscribing. Sharing the video helps as well. If you especially really like it, please do consider being a channel member. Every little bit helps out. And hey, also why not check me out on my other social media pages. Thank you, and have a great day.